Hello, this is Nana doing a retake after my silent movie version earlier. Alright, so as I was saying earlier, I was having technical difficulties and that continued, didn't realize. So we are going to make the 3 cards from the Classic Clock bundle, and we're going to start simple and we're going to work our way up so we're making 3 cards. Alright, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and move to the hands so we can get going versus what we went through this morning. Alright, so here is the Classic Clock that we're going to use here. These are the stamps, and these are the actual dies. And if you saw the first version where I had the silent movie thing going on there, you'll see that I was missing a part, and you'll see that later on when I go to demonstrate it. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start with our simple card. I'm just going to put this aside. I just want to show you, just so you can see the stuff here. So here's the dies. This is what we're going to use to cut out what I used to cut out some things that we'll point out here in a little bit. I just want to show that to you because we're doing a combination of using the 2 here. And then when we get through, I'm going to show you some other examples of using some of the things we're using and what you can do with it. Alright. So the first thing here we're starting out with is a 3x3 card. And all we did is took a 6-inch strip, not quite 6, a little bit shorter though, here's a 0. There's your 6 inches by 3 inches, and we fold it in half. Now you just usually do this from a 12 by 12 cardstock and cut it down. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to actually stamp the words on here. And the reason is we've just got a tight bit of space here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. When you go and do this clock, I thought I had this already. So when you go to do this clock here, and we go to stamp it on, I'm just going to show you here how much space it's going to take. So from here to here. So for me, it was easy. It's easier to stamp the bottom because I want a message on here. So I'm going to start. See if I can talk. I'm going to stamp the message on here first, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come back. And we're going to sit there and then do the other part of it. And that's just so I have a baseline to work from. Let's see if this goes across. I'm just going to do this diagonally because it's going to be easier. I think that's exactly how I did it earlier. So if you watched the silent version earlier, maybe, I'm not sure if my motions will be exactly the same or not. I do not know. Don't care. I just want to care that you have sound now. And I'm going to redo so you can have the sound with the motions. Alright. I like this. It says warmth, joy, and happiness. Okay. And got that a little crooked. You know what? I'm just going to flip this over because I'm going to flip it over because I can. And I can deal with that later because I'm just demoing for you how to do it, and I want us to do it right. And if I got it crooked, it's not so easy. I can cover it up. So let's do it this way. So for example, if you mess up and you're going to do a do-over, in this particular case, I can come back in and put paper over this and it'll cover that up. And that's an easy thing to do. Or I can cover up this side with designer paper and leave this side open. I even like that idea better. Alright, so I'm going to ink that up again, and we're going to do it right. And it's not a problem. Patience is a virtue. And after that thing this morning, I'm thinking, wow. Earlier, it's just good grief. You know, it's just been a technology challenging day today. For whatever reason. There we go. But the good news is tomorrow's a totally different day. And so there. Alright, I'm just going to clean my stamp real quick. I'm just using a rag right now. I do for stamping up when I do paper pumpkin. Alright, now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do the clock on here. And this is just, keep in mind, we're just simple stamping on this one. And a little bit later, I'm going to show you how to make the snow globe. I'm going to make a snow globe. I'll show you how to do that. I'm just going to center this. I'm just going to have a little bit at the top and a little bit between. And that way I can put a bow on here just like I did earlier. Okay. And I'm okay with that. Let's see here. Okay. Now I need to just leave that there because we need to do the little house. So I'm actually going to do the reverse side. And sometimes I do this. It's up to you how confident you are to do that. But there's times that I just do this because it's easier for me, especially when I'm going to be using these stamps more than once. I just have 2 blocks here. And I'm just working with the 2 blocks. So, and same thing here. I'm just going to center this. Stamp it, and then I'm going to do my color. See? Alright, so our next step is we're going to do the red with the fill-in. And that's the beauty about this stamp set, is that you can sit here and do this with these little houses, and they have the filler. You could hand color that in if you wanted to, and I could do that if I wanted to, but I'm not doing that today. That'll be another day. And then what I'm going to do with this is that I'm going to turn around. And actually when I go to do this, you see the little here, the little windows here, that's what I'm going to use to line up on this right here when I stamp. And that's going to work out just beautifully when I do that. I've done this several times, and it just always is so great. It's amazing, really. I like it. I like it that I can do it like that. And I can do it any color I want. Even though some inks, like this one, has dyed my stamp red, as long as I make sure I clean it off and there's no ink residue, that's not an issue. So I just want to make sure I get enough ink here so when I go to stamp this, so all I'm going to do is line up those little windows. Not sure how good you can see that or not, but I'm just going to line those little windows up. And even if I didn't make it on the mark exactly, I could even show you how to handle that. That came out just fine. And so I'm just going to clean my stamps again. Again, see, it does take on the tint of that red. But see, when I go to clean it, there's nothing there. So that's the main thing you want to make sure of. Most colors don't do that, but some of the reddish ones and purple, not the regular purple that I'm using today, it's another type purple. But anyway, so at this point, we are really through with this card, and that's why it's called a simple card. We just simply stamped, and we're done. Now, the only other thing that I want to add is I'm going to add this bow. I'm just going to do a simple little bow. And the other thing I can do too, if you want to, I might not do it now, but I would sit up there and maybe use some Wink of Stella. But I'm just going to keep it simple stamping at the moment, because I want to get through the other 2 cards as well too, because we're going to step it up. We're doing 3 cards. This is a 3x3. Several of you have requested 3x3 cards because you really like making them. So that's fine. If there's anything else you'd like Nana to demonstrate or incorporate as I do this on the simplest, keep it simple or step it up, just let me know. And we'll see about incorporating it, or at least demoing it. Because that's what it's all about. It's about having fun and learning new things. You know, I learned from you guys just as much as you learned from me. I didn't realize that people wanted to do some 3x3 cards. I've done 3x3 cards, and they're fun. And they're cute, and I just got to making some little penguin ones. I actually made a box that I could put 3x3 cards in. I'm just looking for a glue dot here. I actually made, like I said, a little box to hold. So I actually took the paper and I actually made a little box that I could store some little 3x3 cards in for a little princess of mine and of the families. And I actually made a variety of little cards, so they're a surprise. So when she goes in, they look different, they have, you know, everything else, and they're surprises for her when she opens her little box. So I filled it up. I think it held 5. I think it held, well, yeah, it was 5 cards. And so I might, I'm going to trim this just a little, and then I'm done with this. Okay? So I'm just going to trim a little. And we'll trim a little here. You might have liked it that long, I don't know. But all you do is make it and make it the way you like. That's all you gotta do. Alright, so there's our first simple card, and it's a 3x3. Alright, with that, we're going to move on to our second card. Okay, just a second. Let's see here. So let's move on to the second card here. Alright, in this one, we're going to actually do red cardstock. And we're going to start with this here. Okay, so in this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the actual clock here that we do it, and we're going to make this into, we're going to just sit there and raise this up here with some dimensionals. So again, we're taking what we just did, and we're going to step it up into a regular size card, which is when you fold it in half, you end up with 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm just going to do this just like we did a minute ago. And that's all I'm going to have to do, because I'm going to do this a little bit closer to the top, because I'm actually going to put another piece down here. Okay, let me clean this off. And in just a minute, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I've already stamped this from the first one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this up with dimensionals. And we're going to use the regular size dimensionals. And this is the back of something else that I did that I wanted to do differently. So see, you can just flip it over and stamp on it again. That's exactly what I did. Now you're going to see this has, I sat there when I did this, I actually stamped it so I could get a look at it. But the other thing is, for my whole 3D look, I'm actually going to line these lines up. See right here? I hope you can see that. So I'm just going to line these up. That one's going just, let's see here. I'm just going to line it there and here. See how it just has that 3D look there? Now this one is right there also. And see how it just lines up? I could move it down just a little bit if I wanted to, but it looks just fine right there. Alright, the other thing that I have to talk about is this actually comes in the die set, and it's where you do a little punch out. This just actually cuts out here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right down here. And it's just to give some added color, because I can. And then all I'm going to do is use this here. I'm just going to put the glue in. I'm actually using this right here, so it's going to be, the tape runner is going to be a little bit wider than this, and this will just get the extra tape on it on the actual mat instead of my paper itself. And this is just all because we're actually stepping it up. And I think, as I think about it earlier, I think I might have used dimensionals. Let's see if I'm going to like this or not. If I don't like this, guess what? I can still go add dimensionals. So let's see here. Because earlier I did. I think I used dimensionals. I did. Alright. We're not going to do a redo. All I'm going to do is come behind what I just did. And I'm going to use dimensionals. These are going to make it just a little bit lower than the large dimensionals. This is sort of stuck to me, but that's okay. This is just, like I said, it's just a little bit lower in height than the large dimensionals that we used on the other. But it's still going to look nice, and I'll show you later. I'll compare the ones I did earlier today to the ones I did now. But I think I'm missing something. That's okay. We'll get it figured out. I do not see my scissors. This is what I don't see. I'm buried under something because I see part of them, but not the other. We'll figure it out. Okay. So then I'm just going to put this right here. And like I do always, I'm just going to lightly put it on. I'm not going to do it on top. Yep, okay, I got it centered the way I want it centered. Okay. Okay, let me get that up just a second there. I don't want that really sitting down. Okay, so the other thing that I'm going to do here then is I'm actually going to put a bow up here, just like we did the other one. And then I'm going to attach this to some designer series paper. Still trying to find my scissors. I don't see my scissors. I see this part of it, but oh well. They're around here somewhere. They were right here. Oh, here it is. I buried it in there. Okay, thank you. Like, gosh, I just had them. It's just been a day, but tomorrow's a new day, and today still got room left for a lot of things. Good things, not challenging things. Got enough challenging things today. No more challenges for the rest of the day. All right. It's too funny. And I'm just going to snip it here, and or I got it snipped off there. So let's see how we like that. I'm fine with that for right now. We'll see once we get it all put together if I want to trim it anymore or not. I will want to, may not. I'm never etched in stone at all when I make stuff. I'm always got flexibility and choices. If I don't like it, I can change it. And you're going to see later when I go to make one of the other cards, I'll show you where I did make a change from my silent movie that I created. I'll show you what I did differently. So I'm just going to tug these down a little bit. If I can't get it tugged down the way I want it, then all I'm going to do is just gently pull this up without tearing the paper and all. Alright, I'm just going to flip it. Okay, alright, I like that better. Alright, you know, it's one of those things, the bows, you can play around with them as much as you want. So it's nothing to worry about. Alright, at this point then we're going to sit here and we're going to get some designer series paper and we're going to sit here and okay, so we're just going to put this here, and actually I am doing this on dimensionals just like I did earlier, and you can see the paper is just pretty on back. That's not what I used. So I'm just going to keep with what I had earlier and put dimensionals on it. Let's see. Just trying to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay. If I move the camera, I can. Alright, so I'm just going to take this off. I'm going to put this down. And then when I get through, earlier on the first round, I told you that I couldn't make up my mind which tags to use on this. So I'm going to go ahead and told you then I was going to make a second card using the other one. Little did I know that it was going to be today. So maybe it's going to be later. Alright, so this here, I'm just going to stick this down up here. And I'm just going to center it right there. Let's see how that's going to look with the tag here. Get this out of the way here for us. So I'm just going to look and see how it looks. Got the magic of Christmas. So this is what I actually did earlier, and I couldn't decide. So that's all I'm going to do. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it up on dimensionals. Because that way you'll be able to see it better, and you'll see the dimensions better. And today is Dimensional Day, which is whoop, whoop. Let's see, yeah, you can see it. Trying to check myself because I'm not doing a third take. Not on my to-do list. But anyway, you just do whatever you need to do, right? That's all it is. Alright, I'm just going to center it, put it down. There we go. Alright, and then I'm just going to put this down. And I'm actually just going to use some smaller dimensionals, which is fine. Just want a little height. Don't have to have a lot of height. But I'm going to have everything together there. It's going to be a little bit lower, but it'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine. So, you know, it's one of those things you can do whatever you want to do. I want some dimensionals because I want a little height. I'm going to use the little ones. See how much I like it. You know what? I'm not going to peel it off yet, so we'll just see how we like it. And that's the beauty of it all. You put something on like this, and you look at it, and you say, do you like it or not? I like it. So, I'm going to take this paper off the back of here and stick it on. And sometimes, a lot of times I like to do that or you've seen me do it before too. Or you may or may not see me do it before. I actually take the dimensional pad itself and just lay it under here to see if I like the height, period. But today, white dots on me. I've decided to go ahead and just do it. Hey, every day is a new day. I got a choice. Alright, so the only other thing I have here is I might shorten those because when I did the first one I did have a little bit shorter. I still have the chance to do it, but the one thing I want to add that I did earlier is we are going to add bling to this. And I have to tell you, my princesses like bling, and I like the bling too. Even my daughter. Now she's gotten so used to me using bling that now when some bling's not there, she goes, it's missing something. I said, what you're really telling me is it doesn't have the bling on it yet. And I said, you're absolutely correct. See how good that sticks? It sticks to me too. She's absolutely correct. You know, it looks like it's missing something when you get used to putting it on all the time. So I'm just going to put one up here. So we always do an odd number. That just has to do with our eyes. I'm not going to explain that. I'm just going to tell you that's just what we're doing and what you do. It has to do with our eyes and the way we see things and how we assimilate things and look at things. Okay, I think I got some odd numbers there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I do. Alright, so here's the second card that I've made. I'll keep it simple or step it up. And here's the one made earlier. So see, I just changed the tag on the two. The bow's a little bit longer on this one here, and I actually put the house up a little bit higher. I could change that if I wanted to, but I'm fine with it. But see what the difference, just the difference tags makes. So there you go. We got our two cards made there. Alright, for this morning and from now. I'll show them all later. Alright, now we're going to move on to the third card. So actually this round, we're actually going to have a totally different color of card for this. So here is the one made earlier. And one thing I did change out from earlier, which I was talking about on my silent movie, is that I had lost this piece that cut out this silver. And I'll just show you because all this stuff is cut out. So when you look at this right here, it is cut out. When I did the card a while ago, you had the die here that cut this out around the house, the church, the houses and all. So there's a die in the here that cuts out this clock so I can actually put one of these plastic clocks in here. So what I did is this one was done in purple. I came back, I had lost the piece that die cut this out. So earlier I put some little stones on it, took the stones off and I put this on here. So I really like this a lot better. This is what I wanted. So I went in and changed it. So with that though, the next card, so what we're doing now is instead of doing this purple over again, I'm going to actually do this in red and some stripes and show you what that looks like. Keep in mind, this last card is a stepped up card, so you may or may not want to make very many of them. It doesn't matter. The thing that we take something simple and step it up. So like I said, this is cut out with a die cut. As you can see, cut it out here, the machine, which is a hand rolling machine. Here's the actual cut itself. Just shows you the one side this cuts and cuts it out. And that's why this is so nice, is because here's where our snow globe is going to come in. We're actually just going to do this, and this is how we're going to make our snow globe. But before we do that, we want to stamp down here first, because we don't have it sort of like we did earlier. What we're going to stamp down here is the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year, so I want to make sure I have plenty of room for that. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp it first, because on the first round, I didn't do that. I stamped it last, and that was an opportunity for me. So this time, I'm really not looking at providing any new opportunities for me. I had enough on making my first silent video. So I have to laugh about it because that's all you can do. So I'm going to get the other thing that we're going to stamp on here. We'll change out the stamps. Actually, let's change it on the other one. I'm going to set this up like that sideways. Sorry for the sound effects. Change out the words though. Put these on here. And again, same thing. I might could have fit it across, but I think it's going to be easier this way. And we're going to stamp this in red, whereas before we did it in purple. We had the purple look, whole Christmas purple. Boop, boop. All right, but we're doing this one red this time. So we just want to ink it good, coming across. I do it the other way sometimes, and just showing you I can do it this way too. Just want to make sure all the letters are really inked up well. So when we stamp, we get a good, nice stamp. Okay. All right. Now I'm just going to center this close to the bottom because I already know I don't have much room. So that's all I'm going to do is stamp it close to the bottom. Because remember, I'm going to have some of this up on dimensionals. Clean my stamp off. Okay. All right, now I'm actually ready to sit up here. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here right now, because this will all be put up on dimensionals. So it's easier. I'm going to go ahead and get it on here first. And I'm going to start from the bottom. I just like to work from the bottom and up. Originally I thought about doing that, but there's just a lot of stripes. And if you're going to do that, it depends on how you are. I like when I do my stripes that they match up. Not even going to get into that right now. So, just going to keep this as simple as I can for stepping it up. Alright, so I've got this right here. Okay, so now that I've got this here, I'm going to go ahead and what did I think about that? Alright, I did this right earlier and I did not do the other. Alright, we're still going to work with this. You know what? And if I didn't do it right, I'll just flip the piece of paper over. Trying to think now how I'm going to mark it. Alright, because I need to stamp the house right here in the middle. And let's see here. I did leave myself a little bit of leeway, as I'm going to show back here. And it looks like I might have gone over just a little bit of this clock here, but I can trim that off. That's not a big deal. But getting my house in here, knowing my paper was just right to fit behind here, is an opportunity for me, for sure. Okay, but I'm up to the task. I am up to the task. Alright, not a problem. We're going to do this one just like we did the other ones in red. First I'm going to do the outline here. You know what, actually, I don't have to do the outline. You're going to think I'm definitely in a groupthink mode there. I don't have to do that. I just have to do the house. And this is, I need the other houses. Okay, let me get the other house. Okay, because technically I don't need this. I don't need this now that we sit there and have our snow globe here. I just need to get this down. And we're going to double check it just to make sure it works. And it's right center where I need it to be. I'm just going to center it here and believe in it. It's going to be centered on that there. Not to get another chance before I have to get another piece of paper. Alright. Okay, we clean that. So let's see what we got now. Just this side. Let's see how this is going to look. Okay. Alright. Okay, I can work with that. See, so it'll work just fine. I even have room to slide it up, slide it down a little bit. I'm just going to leave it right there though, and that'll work fine for me. Alright, so I'm just going to turn around because I'm going to put snow in here anyway. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and do the red portion of this. And again, we're just going to line up the windows just like we did before. And it works beautifully. Like I said, if for some reason, like I've got this over here at the moment, you really can't see how well I've used this up. I really like to see that because you can see it. Because you can see how it's darker where I've got the ink really good, and that's what I want to make sure of. Okay, and then we're just going to line up our windows. Maybe creating my own shadow here. Okay, that's right there. Whoop, whoop. All right. Okay, So, yeah. All right, so now this is where we're going to sit there and put this together. And we're going to put our snow in here. I just need to make sure that the white, goes right up there. And I want to make sure it's like right here. So I want to make sure this doesn't move on me. And the rate my technology is going today, I'm going old school. With a Post-it note here. That didn't stick. Alright, let's see, we'll have to find another spot. Let me get that centered up again. You know what, I look forward to tomorrow being another day. Usually it's this hump day and all my tedious stuff is done, and I'm looking forward to things ramping down. And I guess tomorrow's going to be my ramp down day. Alright, I'm going to I'll put it just over here to the side. Hold it down, see if it holds it down in place and all like you did earlier. Okay, I just don't want it to move, because what I'm fixing to do is I'm going to go ahead and I just want to make sure before, so you can see, you just want to make sure before I go and make it a final snow globe that I've got it centered and everything the way I want it. And it looks like it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start taking off. So I've got this in place, and I'm actually going to sort of try to do two things at once here. I'm going to hold this with my Post-it note and get this off down here at the bottom. And you might find an easier way. At the moment, this is the easiest way for me, because I'm one of those people, I just want to make sure it's right. And I don't want to have to do a redo if I don't have to do a redo. Now don't forget, I gotta still put my stuff in here to make it a snow globe. I just want to make sure it's still looking right to me, and it's still looking right. Okay, so this is where I don't need this anymore. So what I need now is I just need my glitter. Now they do have sequins. I had some sequins, but I gave it to one of my princesses the other day because she wanted them, and that's just what nanas do for her princesses, as long as it makes good sense. And I've got some more on the way, but meanwhile I'm just going to use a little glitter. So you can use glitter. I thought about it. I didn't have any left over, but I actually, from doing the die cut stuff and all, you get these little scraps, a little piece of paper, and they would make good in a snow globe too. So I don't need to fill the whole bottom up or anything, because it's just going to go on a card. And then I'm just going to peel the rest of this off. Okay. Now I might trim right there with my scissors, but that's okay. Let's see, now I've got my snow globe, and you can shake it. So that's why it's called a clock shaker, because you can shake it. There you go. Whoop, whoop. I like it. I like it. I like it. So I already know, and I'm going to show you some other shakers, snow globes that have been done with different designs. I actually have them in the mini catalog, which makes it real pretty and shows you some different things. I'm focusing today on this particular bundle, so that's why I didn't go to something else and show you. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually put this up on some dimensionals. So from here on, I've got pretty much, the only thing that's different here, just trying to think where my purple one is again. Let me shut this right here too. I don't want that drying out. Yeah, I did everything on dimensionals because I can. Because I can. Main thing is that when you get through, is that you're gonna be able to stick it on the card, and I should be able to, because I tried that out earlier for the other one and it worked just fine. And you know what? I could have done all stripes, but again, like I said, if you're like me and you like to line your stripes up, I'll show you what that means. Originally, I was going to do that, but I thought that's just a lot. So usually, when I do anything, I'll turn this around. When I do stripes of anything, I usually match up the lines. See how that is there? So with this, or anything, it can become tedious, and I don't want to be tedious today, but I just want to show you, you could do that. I did that like that up there when I was in Virginia. We made one and did it like that. But I just wanted to step it up for you today. I didn't want to over challenge it with stripes on stripes, but it can be done. Alright, I'm just going to put dimensionals on this. And then we will be ready to put our snow globe on and finish up all the little pretty stuff on it. And let's see here. Let's see if I've got any more of the large ones here. So I'm just going to do something to help me out here. I'm going to go look for some more real quick. Just going to cut this here. It'll be okay. I don't usually do this. I usually like to use my full dimensionals. Good. It'll be okay. It will be okay. Okay. So, nobody will know anyway, because you're going to have to flip the card over, which you won't be able to do because it's stuck down to see. You have to do it sideways, and nobody's going to do that. And somebody I sent a card to is not going to do that. They're going to be just glad I sent them a beautiful handmade card. But they don't get that often. In fact, they don't get it at all unless I send it to them. So, there you go. Alright, so there's our second layer there, and then we're just going to put this one on here. Okay, and again, we're going to put some dimensionals back here to get this on. We're just going to do the same thing we just did, because all I see is my minis dimensionals right now, and I got plenty of those handy, and I'm not doing that. I'm going to use the bigger ones. It's all because I had everything lined up and did it earlier, and I didn't restock myself to do more creating. And planned on doing more creating today, but you know what? Now I know. So there you go. I usually allow myself so much creating time a day. You know, sort of like your budget TV time, maybe YouTube time, I don't know. Have X amount of time I usually allot for creativity and card making. And then, you know, there's other real life stuff you have to do too. You know, you still gotta eat. Okay, so we're just gonna stick this right here. Now, the reason why I wanted to stamp this first is because I do have this right here that I was going to put on just like I did the previous one from earlier today. And in order to do that, I have to like butt it up like right there. Let's see how well you can see that if I butt that up right there. I'm not sure if you're going to see it that well. So let's see how it would look if I did it here. If I moved it down to down here. See, I'm not sure if you're going to see that or not. So I don't know that I'm going to do anything with this. I might have to make a decision later because I'm not sure that that's really floating my boat at the moment, as per se. I mean, I did like the idea of it being here, but I knew I had a smaller amount of space. And could I do it on the side? Possibly. Could I do it on the top? Let's see here. Just have a bow. I really like my bows, so. I don't like that there either. Alright, so for the moment, I really can't decide what I like. So, we are just going to push this aside for the time being. I might end up liking it there, I don't know. Right now, though, I'm just not. Alright, so what I'm going to, the last thing then, what I'm going to do here for our snow globe is I'm going to put this, it's called Shimmer Crystal Effect. And what this does is when you do this, let's start at the bottom. It's going to leave, I'm trying to think how you describe it. Sort of like a little bit like a gel. It's not really a gel, but it's going to leave like a nice thick little coating here. But the nice thing about it is when it dries, once I get it to come out, maybe it'll dry while I'm doing this and you can see. Alright, so you can see what it comes out like when you squeeze on it. So I'm just going to go around, shake it a little bit. Used it earlier today, so it's like the air bubble. So all I'm going to do is take it here, and I'm going to go all the way around. And what it's going to do is just going to give it a nice crystal, snowy look here. So it reminds me of icicles is what it reminds me of. Or it reminds me also of decorating cake or something too. And I'm just going to go around. Now I might have to come back and touch something up. I don't know. But for the moment, I'm just trying to do a nice, steady, even line. And the key to it is just keep moving. Don't stop and squeeze real hard or anything. I might have to stop as I go to turn around or whatever. See, as I go to turn the card, I'm going to have to do that. But that's okay. It gives me a chance to sort of shake this down a little bit. Make sure I still got it down here so I'm not going to squeeze too hard. Yep. Right there? No, I'm not. So, just because I sat there and used it earlier and I'm using it again today and I just got some air in there. Okay, there we go. So like if you're caulking something, or like I said, if you do any kind of baking or with icing or something, you're using something like this, it does a similar thing, you do the same thing. So it's just the same way. Just keep on turning, keep a nice, I just work on trying to keep a nice steady hand there. And actually it's easier just for me, just to rotate with my hand. I think I already did this, but I'll stop right there. Okay, so see, you can see that nice line there. And when it finishes drying, you can see the sparkle already, but you'll see it even more. I'm not going to shake that down. Alright, so that is our third card. So let me show you everything that we've done today between the silent movie and now. Here are the two simple cards made today. And then we'll get this out of the way because I don't want to mess that up with this drying. We had two other Step It Up cards. Right there too. So here's the two we used. So these were exactly the same. These two I just switched out because I couldn't make up my mind earlier. Now I got to use both of them. So we have these two cards here. And then for the Step It Up and final card is got two different looks because we used two different papers. So we used the same dies, same stamp and everything else. I have to shake that a little bit. That's got some static electricity in it. But you can see the difference in looks just by using different color papers. I did this paper here because it's the back side of the stripes here to give it sort of a woodsy look with this here. But you can see two totally different looking cards, but yet it's the same set. That's the beauty of it all, is that you can actually do all that. And you notice I did this here and I did not do it here. I might come back later, I don't know, but for right now I don't. Okay, so that is it for today for Keep It Simple or Step It Up, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and share our video, and look forward to next week when we do something else. So just keep checking. We'll post what our next bundle will be for us to do. That'll be next Wednesday. And then we got coming up on October the 2nd, which is Make a Card Day. So some of us are going to come together. If you want to join us, feel free to join us and make cards with us. They've got some cute kids out there if you want to make a kid, or you've got some kids or some cards you're already making and you just want to finish them up. It's just a day to get together and socialize. We'll have some people coming in online, and we'll have a couple people here in person as well too, so that we can sit there and communicate back and forth as we make cards today. Again, that's October the 2nd, so mark your calendar. And then October the 7th is when we're doing our fall retreat. So you'll see more of that show up on Facebook. So anyway, look forward to seeing you next week. Have an adventurous and fun week. And I'm believing you're not going to have to do any redos like I've had to do. All right. Bye. Oops, I just realized I forgot to do something that I was going to show you. And I'm just going to show you real quick. It won't be long. I'm not going to do that whole goodbye and love you and all that kind of stuff again. been there, done that already twice today. So we're just going to show you something real quick, and then I'm out of here. All right, so one thing I wanted to show you that I totally forgot about was I wanted to show you the other things that they've done with the same snow globe. So here is one right here where they did with the deer, which I think is really cute. You could put the sequins in there, anything else that you wanted to. That was really great, and I wanted to show that to you. Then you just had to excuse my post-it notes that I have on my book. So here is what we did today. Ours isn't quite exactly like that, but it's very close, and that's what I was trying to show you earlier. But here's what else they did right here. Here's another example. And then the last one that I think is so adorable, and that I know I'm going to make for a princess or two or three, whether it's birthday or Christmas, is this right here, little penguin. I've already done a bunch of penguins. This is in the celebration catalog for the paper, which is paper. Some of this is used here, and then some is from some other stuff. But this is what I'm going to use. So I just wanted to show you, because there was other things that you could actually use this clock die, well, shaker box right here, and then the die itself to cut it out. And it just makes a various cards that you can make. So it's unlimited. All right, that's it. Talk to you later. See you next week. Bye.